Did you know that 95% of the universe is made of dark matter and dark energy? Things we do not quite understand yet. Only the remaining 5% is the matter that we fully understand. This matter is made up of atoms. We can classify matter on the basis of its physical state into solids, liquids, and gases. As we know, matter is made up of very small particles, and these particles are atoms or molecules. Hence, depending upon the nature of the particles, matter can be classified as elements, compounds, and mixtures. Elements. A substance composed of any one type of atoms is called an element. For example, gold. If we divide gold into small pieces, it still shows all the properties of gold. Some other examples of elements are hydrogen, oxygen, sodium, iron, etc. Elements can exist in all three states of matter. For example, at room temperature, oxygen is gas, mercury is liquid, and sodium is solid. Elements are generally classified into three classes: metals, non-metals, and metalloids. Examples of metals are iron, potassium, magnesium, etc. Most metals are extracted from ores, like iron is extracted from hematite. However, metal such as gold, silver, platinum, etc. occur naturally. Examples of non-metals are carbon, oxygen, chlorine, bromine, etc. Normally, at room temperature, most of the non-metals are gaseous, but bromine is the only non-metal which is liquid, while the others, such as carbon, are solid. Metalloids possess intermediate properties between metals and non-metals. Examples of metalloids are boron, silicon, etc. They are usually shiny and brittle. At room temperature, a metalloid does not conduct electricity, but when heated, it does conduct electricity. Compounds. A substance composed of atoms of two or more types of elements is called a compound. For example, water H2O. It is made up of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. But when the experiment of water electrolysis is carried out, water breaks into two constituent elements such as hydrogen and oxygen respectively. Also, the properties of these elements formed differ from that of water. One example of compounds is common salt, which is made up of sodium and chloride ions. Another example is that of sugar, which is composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Now, let us carry out a simple activity to verify that sugar is a compound. Take a test tube filled with a little sugar. Heat it over the flame of a burner. After some heating, the sugar will first turn brown and then black. The black substance left behind in the test tube is carbon. Hence, we can say that sugar is made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. But the properties of these elements are different from those in sugar. Thus, sugar is a compound. One molecule of sugar is made up of 12 atoms of carbon, 22 atoms of hydrogen and 11 atoms of oxygen. Mixtures. If two or more elements or compounds or both are mixed together in any proportion such that they do not undergo any chemical reaction but retain their individual properties, then the resulting substance is called a mixture. For example, air is a mixture of various gases like nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. However, these gases are not in a fixed ratio everywhere. The amount of carbon dioxide and other polluting gases is more in an industrial area than in a residential area. To summarize, a substance composed of any one type of atoms is called an element. Elements can exist in all three states of matter. Elements are generally classified into three classes: metals, non-metals and metalloids. A substance composed of atoms of two or more type of elements is called a compound. If two or more elements or compounds or both are mixed together in any proportion, then the resulting substance is called a mixture. For example, air is a mixture of various gases. Have you noticed that hydrogen is combustible? Oxygen is a supporter of combustion, while water, a compound of hydrogen and oxygen, is used to extinguish combustion reactions. Stay tuned to learn about this interesting property of compounds in the upcoming videos.